Good day. The name is Richard Darko, and you can call me Nanakwesi Ajiman or Ammonia. Nanakwesi Ajiman or Ammonia. On YouTube, it's Richard Darko, Richard. Richard. Darko is Darko. Darko, Darko. And Ammonia 84. Either of them you could find me. Ammonia is Amonia 84. Amonia and 84. You can find me, share it, or subscribe. Whichever way you do it. I like it. I'm talking about Morocco and Zambia today. So today my program will be quite longer than usual. And I'm starting with Morocco. Historically, Morocco, which is nicknamed the Atlas Lions, participated in the AFCON much later than other African nations. However, once Morocco made their debut in 1972, Morocco emerged and became a fearsome power of the tournament, becoming the second North African side to win the AFCON in 1976. However, ever since the win, Morocco's best performance was only a runners-up in 2004 when they lost 2-1 to Tunisia. In 1972, when Morocco made its debut in the AFCON, Morocco became the first team in the history of the AFCON to have drawn all three games, meaning Morocco didn't lose a single game, and yet still didn't qualify from the group phase. Incredibly, all Morocco's three games ended 1-1 draw. Again, all the three goals were scored by Ahmed Faras, and all three were in the 30 columns. Who unfortunately passed away in this July 2025. He's passed, so he may his soul rest in peace. Let me give you a breakdown of their games, the three games. Morocco played 1-1 with Congo Brazzaville. Ahmed Faras scored on the 34th minute. The second game, Morocco played 1-1 with Sudan, and Ahmed Faras scored again in the 32nd minute. And again, Morocco played 1-1 draw with Congo DR, Democratic Republic of Congo. And Ahmed Faras scored again in the 36th minute. Morocco didn't enter the qualification for Egypt in 1974, but did qualify for Ethiopia in 1976. That is when they won. Morocco won the 1976 AFCON thanks to Ahmed Makrou's 86-minute equalizer. After 1972 African best player, Sherif Soleimani have put the Guineans ahead. Remember, I told you in the beginning when I was doing the history of the AFCON that in 1976, Morocco and Guinea, they played like a final. What happened in 1976 was that there wasn't actually a final. There was a round robin of four teams, each one playing the other. And getting to the final game, Morocco had 4 points and Guinea had 3 points. So Guinea needed a win and Morocco needed a draw. If Morocco draws, they have won the AFCON. And if Guinea wins, Guinea has also won the AFCON. But the outcome is that the game ended 1-1 with Ahmed Makrou scoring the equalizer for Morocco in the 86th minute, and Sherif Suleiman scoring the only goal for Guinea in the 32nd minute. So that is what happened, and Morocco won it. Morocco ended the 1976 AFCON unbeaten. So Morocco was unbeaten in 2 AFCON tournaments, 9 games in all. You know what I'm talking about? 3 games in the 1972 and 6 games in 1976, making it 9 games. She entered Ghana 1978 Nations Cup as defending champions. In the first game in Group B, Morocco drew 1-1 with Tunisia with Hassan Amcharaft. Hassan Amcharaft, who passed away in 2023. He scored that goal for Morocco, 1-1. They beat Congo Brazzaville in the next game with Hassan Amcharaft again scoring the only goal of the match. Then came the third and final group game, which Morocco was heavily beaten by Uganda 3-0. Uganda whitewashed Morocco that day. 3-0 was such a beautiful game for the Ugandans. So in all competitions, Morocco played 11 games. 11 games at the AFCON without losing, but lost on the 12th attempt. That was what the record that Morocco set in 1972, 1978, 76, and then 1978. Morocco couldn't make it past the group phase. Yeah, the player with the most goals for Morocco at the AFCON is Ahmed Faras. He has 6 goals. Yeah, at AFCON, Ahmed Faras has 6 goals. He is the top scorer of the Morocco. He got 3 in 1962 and 3 in 1976. In fact, in 1976, the same Ahmed Faras won the most valuable player. Yeah, he won the most valuable player. Only him and Abdul Aziz Budabara. Abdul Aziz Eldris Budabara. I am not Arabic, so I will not pretend I know Arabic. Yeah, I just know the names, and I'm giving to you. He also won the Best Player Award in 1988 when Morocco hosted the Nations Cup in 1988. Noureddin Nebet is the Moroccan player with the most appearances at the AFCON. He has 6 appearances in total. He was present in 1992, Senegal 92. He was present. He was present in Burkina 98, Ghana and Nigeria 2000, Mali 2002, Tunisia 2004, and Egypt 2006. He was there. Noureddin Nebet, he was there. Yeah, 6 times. Beautiful. The record for most appearances at the World Cup, at the Nations Cup it goes to, I think, the Dayu of Ghana and Rigobert Song of Cameroon. I think so. Yeah. This will be the 90th attempt at the Nations Cup for Morocco. They have played 74 matches at the Nations Cup. They have played 74 matches, won 29 games, drawn 25 games, and lost 20 games. Yeah, they have scored 87 goals and conceded 65 goals so far. 87 for them, and then 65 against them. So they have a plus of 22. And when we do the points altogether, the wins altogether, it is 112 points that Morocco has. On the AFCON chart or the table for points, Morocco is 6th. Yeah, he's 6th. Behind Cameroon, which is Cameroon is 5th, and then ahead of Senegal, who is also in 7th. So Cameroon and Senegal sandwich Morocco, who is staying at 6th. Again, this will be the second time Morocco is hosting the AFCON. The first time they hosted was 1988, where they lost 1-0 to eventual winners Cameroon at the semi-finals. I don't know if you know Serial Makanaki. Yeah, he was the one. He scored the only goal in the 78th minute for Cameroon. Yeah, Makanaki. I was there. I watched. To determine who comes 3rd or 4th, they lost 4-3 on penalties to Algeria in 1988. That's a little bit for Morocco. I'm talking about Zambia right now. Zambia, the national team represents Zambia in men's football association football, and is governed by the Football Association of Zambia (FAX). Nicknamed the Chipolopolo, meaning copper bullets. Now, let me give you a little history about the Chipolopolo and their history. I mean, their nickname. They were initially known as KK11. KK stands for Kenneth Kwanda. Kwanda was their founding president and ruled Zambia from 1994 to 1991. They started using the name, especially in 1974, when they went to the finals of the AFCON, where they lost 2-0 to DR Congo. I told you about it in the beginning. They went to the finals in 1974, and DR Congo beat them. Yeah, 2-0. KK11 was used until 1993, when the entire Zambia national team was perished in the Atlantic Ocean. Their plane crashed in the ocean near Gabon. They had a World Cup game against Senegal, and for them to get to Senegal, they They had to board a plane, and unfortunately, the incident happened. The only survivor was Kalusha Bora of that squad. By then, he was playing for PSV and often in Netherlands. So he was like, "Okay, I'll meet you in Senegal." That was what saved Kalusha Bora. Yeah, may their souls rest in peace. So that after that incident, that is when they came together to form another team, and they call it the Chipolopolos. That's the copper bullet. I hope you understand me. So that was basically the how come they got the name Chipolopolo, which means the copper bullet. This is the 17th time Zambia is appearing at the AFCON. They have won one in 2012 when they won against Ivory Coast. They came runners up twice in 1974 and 1994. Immediately after the plane crash, they assembled the local squad, and that local squad went all the way to the finals of the AFCON when they lost to Nigeria. They scored the first goal, through Letana. They scored the first goal through Letana, but they came short when Nigeria woke up. They have finished third on 3 different occasions. That is in Libya 1982, when they came third, Algeria 1990, they came third, and South Africa 1996, they came third when a 51st minute goal by Johnson Bwala defeated Ghana at the third and fourth playoff. That was a game. Ghana, in fact, on that day, I watched it. Ghana was devastated to have lost the semi-final to South Africa. So going into that game, Ghana was like, if you don't get a final, to hell with a third place final. So that's what happened in 1996. For this one, I watch it. Since Zambia won the AFCON in 2012, they have been to 3 Nations Cup, excluding this year. In all 3 tournaments, they couldn't make it past the group phase. In all 3, they couldn't make it past the group phase. In 2013, they drew all 3 games. Against Ethiopia, it was 1-1. Against Nigeria, 1-1. And against Burkina Faso, 0-0. In 2015, they drew all 2 games. They drew 2 games against Congo DR, and then against Cape Verde. They say Cape Verde, not Cape Verde. Cape Verde. And then they lost 2-1 to Tunisia. Yep. In the last AFCON in La Côte d'Ivoire, or at the Ivory Coast, they again came short with 2 games, 2 drawn games against DR Congo and Tanzania, and lost 1-0 to Hakim Ziyech, Morocco. Yeah, Hakim Ziyech scored that goal on the 37th minute for Morocco. Since their success in 2012, they have not won a single match. But they didn't lose much. Since 2012, they haven't lost. They haven't won, and they don't lose much. They have played 9 games and lost 2, drawn 7. They have 0 wins. The last time Zambia won an AFCON game was the final of 2012. Yeah, the final of 2012 when they drew 0-0 with Ivory Coast, and then they needed a penalty to separate who wins the 2012 AFCON, either Zambia or Ivory Coast, and then Ivory Coast lost. Zambia won the AFCON. In fact, if you're looking for the last time Zambia won an AFCON game within the open play, you understand what I mean? Within open play, it was against Ghana at the semi-final. Yeah, it was against Ghana at the semi-final when Emmanuel Mayuka he scored that goal for Zambia. I think 51st minute when he scored that goal for Zambia. Yeah, so they've gone a whole 10 games without winning a football game within 90 minutes. The only one was against Ivory Coast at the final, and then 9 games they have not won it. They've lost twice and then drawn all 7. So coming into this year's Nations Cup, Um, Zambia should be a force to reckon with, but on current form, they are not doing pretty well. So I will leave you here. Tomorrow I'll be talking about other countries. There are so many countries that I have to discuss until the tournaments kick off on December 21st, 2025. I will leave you here, and good night.